Alrighty. Well, I just want to thank you all for being here today. It means a lot to me personally. I first want to recognize and thank my mom and Miss Sherry for planning and throwing this just amazing party for Daniel and I. I know it's taken a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of stress at times. And it just means a lot to me to just see the amount of work that you guys are willing to put into something that is just so exciting and something that just means a lot to me personally. And I also want to thank Daniel for putting up for me with like 10 years of bad dad jokes, stupidity, horrible puns, whatever else I put you through. For some reason, he decided to stay my friend, so I must have been doing something right. But in all seriousness, man, I appreciate you big time. And whatever we both decide to go our ways, that we can stay friends and continue to grow as best buds. So now let's see how many people I can make cry. Before I do any of that, I just want to give thanks to the Lord. I know it's kind of cliche to say nowadays, but it truly is the most important thing in my life and always will be. If I hadn't accepted the free gift of the cross and Jesus on that cross, I honestly would not physically be here with all of you today. It wasn't something that was ever forced on me. It wasn't something that was ever shoved down my throat. It was just something that was always presented as an offer, as a free gift. Something that I didn't have to accept because my parents accepted it. It was just something that was presented to me. And it's a gift that I'm so grateful that I accepted years ago. And it's a gift that I hope everybody in this room can someday come to accept. So second, I obviously want to thank my mom and dad. You guys have seen it all, good, bad, ugly. I could go on for hours about the importance and love I have for both of you guys and all the things I've learned. But for the sake of time, I'm just going to keep it to this because it's a message that I hope I've been able to relay to you guys over the years. And it's this. I love you. I always have loved you guys, and I always will love you guys. You guys are a big reason why I am the way I am, and I will forever be grateful for that. And then I also want to thank my brothers. Logan's here tonight, my younger brother Logan, and my older brother Peter as well. Peter, he always has, and he still does, a very lighthearted and goofy sense of humor. And it's something that I not only enjoy, but it was something that in some pretty dark times in my life, I really needed. When times I got too serious, in times where I was overthinking or overstressing about something, he'd send me the dumbest, stupidest text, and it would just make my day. So I appreciate that about him, and I still do. And then Logan, I've just been really blessed by our growing friendship over the last few years. I know in the past it hasn't been the greatest, but the last 2 years I wouldn't trade for anything. And I really am honored to call you my brother, and I love you lots. And then I also want to recognize Dan and June Andrews, but I've called him for 18 years Nan and Papa. I can't express to you guys how grateful I am for the amount of time, energy, effort, and love you guys have put into me, my brother, and our cousins for the last 18 some years. It truly is something I will never forget. And Nana, some things I'll never forget about you are our Olive Garden lunch dates that we still have. I still love. Those breadstick sandwiches are killer. Your unforgettable homemade treats during the holidays, and then just when we're short. But the one thing that I've always cherished and valued the most, above all else, are your heartfelt and loving, enormous bear hugs that I received every time I saw you. It's something that brought me just a pure sense of joy every time. And it's something that I just will never forget and I'm very grateful for. And don't worry, Papa, I'm not just sucking up to Nana. Some things I'll never forget about Papa is the hours we would spend having our foam sword fights in your recliner. With the Garrises, it's something so small, so dumb, but it's something I enjoyed so much as a kid. Another thing was the endless hours we spent playing Wii. playing tanks, golf, shooting each other. I mean, it was a hoot, and I still remember it, and something I'll always remember. But the one thing I'll never forget about you, Papa, is the relentless and dedicated, nothing is going to stand in my way work ethic that you showed me even when you realized you didn't. It's something that I've strived for a while now, and it's something I still strive for as a man, and something that I hope in the future I can have half the work ethic that you have and everything. So it's something I really appreciate. I would also like to mention two different men who've also had a big impact, Devin Conway and Eric Fatal. They couldn't be here tonight, but these men served as my youth pastor and youth director for about 2 to 3 years each at Cornerstone. And both of these men have had unbelievable impacts on my life, are a huge reason that I've got the faith that I do, and they just, when I needed a friend the most, they were there. And I still talk to Devin quite frequently, and I'm very grateful for both of them. And lastly, I just want to thank you all that are here tonight. I would love to go person by person down the list that I was starting to make and talk about how God has used each and every one of you in my life. But I was told that if I did that, this would be a two-day ordeal. So for the sake of time and everyone being able to go home before midnight tonight, I'll put it this way. If you're here today, it is because you've had an impact on either my life, Daniel's life, or both of our lives. And for me personally, that impact was noticed in some way. I can't thank you enough all for being here today to support Daniel and I as we both transition into the next phase of life. For me personally, God has recently been showing me just how much He loves everybody. And even when we turn our back and go the other way, He's still there. And He still loves us very, very much. And through seeing you all here tonight, I'm not only blessed with the opportunity to see how much the Lord loves me through all of you guys, but also just how many people love me and how many people I love. So I just want to thank you all for being here tonight and supporting me over the past 18 years. I'm very excited to see what God has for me in this next phase of life. So I just thank you, and I love you all.